what you are unaware of in your life is actually blocking you and being a ceiling, and you're creating your own limits to what you can achieve in that process. So excited to have you here. This is something that, in the world of doing, if you're in business or just in general, we're always looking at what to do. What are things that we can do constantly rather than who we have to be? And a lot of times, this is what kind of made the shift for me to go into mindset work, especially with business owners, is to make that shift because I wanted to break barriers of what's holding them back. Why do they keep hitting the roadblock, right? If you listen to a lot of the experts, they're going to tell you to just continue to do, and keep doing the work. And eventually, someday, somehow, you will break through. It's just inevitable. And I'm not saying that's not right or wrong because, do you want to swim upstream or you want to go downstream? That's really the choice you're going to make. Because a lot of the times, 95% of the time, you operate from your subconscious mind. This is you, automatic recorder or player, just constantly playing no matter what. So that means about 5% of your life is dictated by you in a mindful, present moment. Every choice you make, every action you're taking is subconscious mind. We can go even further into understanding that every reaction you have is actually not a reaction of yours, but actually your programming as a child. What you saw as a norm, you modeled, your brain took that information in and said, this is life. And if you think you've been down this path, have you ever noticed that when you become a parent, you become more like your parents? Is it just by design? Is it just by a fluke? Is it just genetics? No. Subconscious programming. And this stuff goes back even to generations. And so how do you break away? Because if you don't become aware of this, you will have blocks in your life and you're going to go spend thousands upon thousands on coaches and programs and workshops and things like that, and nothing changes. You'll do a program like, let's say, a mental toughness of like 75 hard. You do it great. And then you don't implement it in your life. You're done. You go right back to your normal living 3 months, 3 months after the program's done. Have you ever been there? I know I've done those things before. And so it's one of those things where understanding why your behavior doesn't change. I've talked about this many times, but these are the things that are blocking you, right? Because what happens is, as a child, 0 to 7, you have this program that is conditioned. But what you're exposed to the most, what is continually patterned, it's creating imprints on your nervous system and neurology in your brain specifically, that is going to be hardwired. And anything that's not exposed as much has got neural pruning, which means it just cuts it off the brain, says, hey, we don't need that. It's not important as a child. And so these reactions that you have, I'm sharing this with you because if you become mindful, this is why, again, I became a business mindset coach. And the biggest reason why I do that is because I work with people on beliefs, breaking those things down, their habits, their rituals, their values. These are the big stuff that actually is what's holding people back from achieving and manifesting and attracting, whatever word you want to put there, but the life you want to have and the experience that you want to choose. Right. And so these beliefs and these things and conditionings, these reactions, these knee-jerk reactions are actually a ton of wisdom that you can gain. Sometimes if you're in business and something happens, you just get mad about it and you don't know why you're reacting that way. There's something there. And the bigger the reaction, the bigger the explosion, the bigger the emotional, investment into that attachment that comes with that is going to be more gold, is what I like to call it, because there's stuff there that the universe is trying to give to you to have you be aware, to heal, to expand, and to grow. Because when you seek for something, it also seeks you. And what that means is that when you're going to look out to create something new for yourself, the universe is going to get excited and bring everything it can to raise your vibration. Notice your vibration, because you cannot attract something outside the vibration of what you vibrate at. It's impossible. It's against every universal law. And you only can attract what you vibe at. And so this is the being essence of breaking through these models. And this is the criteria of what you want to do. So in your life, and the great thing is with relationships is one of the best, because you're going to see what you need to work on. It's going to be stuff that you want to work, because most of the time when you react, especially a knee-jerk reaction, you just all of a sudden got a certain way and you're like, I don't know why, I'm sorry I got like that. There's information behind that, because if you were truly mindful, you would not be choosing that action. You'll actually sit there for a second and say, well, how do I want to present? And you've done this before. I've done this before, where you look back at something and how you reacted. And you're like, man, I would have did that differently. Ever been there? I have. I've done that numerous times in my life. And it's one of those things I started to realize that wasn't me. And I had to be a little bit more mindful and go deeper and do this inner work to break those barriers. And when I started to, my whole life changed. Every aspect of my life. Working with a client, and she made some nice little tweaks in her life of doing some of this work. And all of a sudden, every fabric of her life got better. And it's just like one little tweak opened up that whole entire door, right? And it's like, that's the power of this kind of work, doing this kind of stuff. And having a coach who understands this and understands the process and has gone through all this stuff takes it to that whole next level. So the point of today, if you made it this far in the video, please let me know what your big takeaway was in the comments. Also, share what's a big aha. Yeah, I agree with this. Thumbs up, man. You're on dead on 100, whatever you want to put some your favorite GIF in there. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's the process of this is understanding that your knee-jerk reactions, the things that you just react, the things that fire you up, really, not fire up in a good way, just an emotional way, those are going to be the things that you want to spend time on and understand. That's liquid gold or gold in general. And those things that you can gain from, grow from, and learn from. And that's going to help you find your barriers to break because it's holding you back from a vibrational standpoint. Anything else, doesn't matter what you do. It's the vibrational standpoint. And when your energy is getting drained somewhere else, you cannot give it power. You can force it, but it'll be temporary. But to have long-term success, long-term sustainability, long-term stuff in that realm, this is in any aspect of your life, relationships, mindset, health, business, money, all these different things. You want to come from the power side to remove the blockages that are holding you back. It's like a ball and chain. And once you find those things and you become aware of it, now all of a sudden you get a feeling to know what that is. And then you get awareness. And then all of a sudden what's going to happen is you're going to all of a sudden have a little more awareness. You'll start to know when the thought process kicks in. And now you're getting almost to the root of it. You don't have to go back and know when someone told you that or when you accepted the belief. It's important if you did, because you can rewire and reprogram. That's a whole plethora of more work to do. But you can just do something as simple as just be aware. And if you're just aware, then you can make a choice. And it's not a choice that's automatic from 0 to 7. It's a choice that you're making right now, right here. And that's why a lot of people talk about the present time consciousness and all these other things, because there's a lot of power in that. And that's where your power comes. And then when you're making actual choices, now you're actually choosing your life and your experience. And now, is there a limit? Well, only if you choose it, because that's the power of doing this kind of work. So that's what I got for you guys today. And if you're at this point and you're looking, you want to do this, you want help with this, you're in business in some way, shape, or form, definitely DM me. Go ahead and just put in the comments belief. And that way I'll know what you're talking about and what video this relates to. And we can chat from there. But, and for those who are maybe watching who aren't in business, there is something we are putting together to put a curriculum together for you guys. So that way you can get access to some of this stuff. But appreciate you as always. I hope you all have an amazing Monday, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.